Have you ever woken up with the sensation of being soaked, but there was no water anywhere around you? Maybe you were swimming in an endless ocean, watching waves crash against the shore, or drowning beneath a dark, overwhelming current. Or maybe you were simply floating weightless in a pool of calm, still water, feeling completely at peace. In dreams, water is never just water. It's emotion, it's memory, it's a reflection of your inner world, especially the parts you try to hide, even from yourself. Water is one of the most ancient, universal symbols across all cultures and spiritual traditions. It's tied to birth and death, to healing and destruction, to what we feel but cannot say. And in dreams, water flows straight from the subconscious. Why do some people dream of drowning during times of stress? Why do others dream of rain when they're about to start something new in life? Why do so many spiritual traditions believe that dreaming of oceans or rivers means you're going through a personal transformation? This episode will take you deep beneath the surface, not just into the meanings of these dreams, but into what they say about you. Because whether the water is calm or stormy, clear or murky, gentle or destructive, it's never random. It's trying to tell you something. Are you overwhelmed with unspoken emotion? Are you being called to cleanse, to renew, to begin again? Or is your intuition trying to guide you, like a river, to where you need to go? Dreaming of water is like holding a mirror to the soul. So before you dismiss it as just a dream, take a breath and dive in. Your subconscious has something to show you. Let's find out what it is. What does water really mean in dreams? Water in dreams is never just a background detail. It's a message, a mood, a mirror. Every drop carries meaning. Psychologically, water represents the unconscious mind, your hidden feelings, emotional energy, and intuitive wisdom. When water appears in your dream, it's often a direct channel from your deepest emotional state to your conscious awareness. But here's the secret. The form water takes matters. A lot. Calm water. You're emotionally balanced. You might be entering a time of peace, reflection, or healing. Still waters reflect clarity and serenity. Stormy seas. Turbulent water often mirrors emotional chaos. Stress, anxiety, or unresolved conflicts are likely churning beneath the surface. Floods or tsunamis. These overwhelming water dreams symbolize being emotionally flooded. Something in life may feel out of control, or you're suppressing feelings that can no longer be held back. Rain, a powerful symbol of renewal. You might be letting go, healing from the past, or experiencing a cleansing of your spirit. Underwater, feeling submerged often reflects emotional suffocation. Are you drowning in pressure, grief, or responsibilities? Clear versus murky water. Crystal clear water suggests emotional clarity or purity of purpose. Murky or dirty water, that's emotional confusion, hidden fears, or toxic situations. Spiritually, water is one of the most sacred elements. In many traditions, it connects to intuition, psychic sensitivity, and the divine feminine. Dreaming of water may suggest that your intuition is awakening, or urging you to trust your inner guidance more deeply. There's also a transitional quality to water in dreams. It often appears when you're moving between phases of life, leaving behind the old and stepping into something new. Think of water as a symbolic passage, like the river that must be crossed to reach a new shore. Culturally, water dreams carry rich meaning across the world. In Chinese tradition, water is tied to wealth, but also emotional flexibility. Dreaming of flowing rivers can indicate luck or prosperity. In African and Caribbean cultures, water often connects to ancestors, spirits, and powerful feminine deities. Dreams of oceans or lakes might indicate spiritual messages. In Native American beliefs, water dreams may represent spiritual purification or the need for emotional expression. In Jungian psychology, water symbolizes a collective unconscious, what we all share beneath the surface of individuality. But no matter where you're from or what you believe, one thing remains true. Dreaming of water means something in your emotional world is shifting, and the dream is your invitation to explore it. Variations of water dreams. What type of water did you see? Not all water dreams are created equal. The type of water, its condition, your interaction with it, and even its color, all play a role in unlocking the true meaning of your dream. Let's explore the most common variations and what they might be telling you. 1. Dreaming of an ocean. The ocean represents vastness, the unknown, and the depths of your subconscious. If you're floating or sailing on a calm ocean, it suggests you're at peace with your inner world, or at least ready to explore it. But if the ocean is stormy, endless, or swallowing you, it may mean you're overwhelmed by emotions or facing a situation that feels too big to handle. 2. Swimming in water. Swimming usually shows how you're navigating emotional situations. Are you swimming easily? That could mean you're in control of your emotions. Struggling, drowning, or swimming against a current. That's a red flag. Your emotions might be working against you, or you feel trapped in a life situation you can't escape from. 3. Water leaking or overflowing. Water leaking from pipes, walls, or ceilings in a dream can signal hidden emotional tension, feelings that are slipping through your control. Overflowing water, like bathtub spilling or sinks flooding, often symbolizes emotion spilling over in waking life. It's your subconscious saying, "This can't be contained any longer." 4. Rain or showers. Dreaming of rain can represent emotional release. Light rain, healing or gentle sadness. A heavy downpour, intense emotions that you may not be fully processing. Showering or bathing in a dream is symbolic of cleansing. You're releasing guilt, stress, or past trauma. 5. Rivers and streams. These represent emotional flow and life's journey. A gentle stream can mean things are progressing smoothly. A rapid river suggests fast-paced changes, maybe even an emotional rush. Crossing a river may indicate you're transitioning between stages in life, leaving one chapter and entering another. 6. Tsunamis or floods. Tsunamis in dreams are deeply symbolic. They often appear when you're repressing powerful emotions, grief, rage, anxiety, and those feelings are now threatening to burst out. Flood suggests something in your life is no longer sustainable. You're drowning in stress, or an emotional overflow is coming if changes aren't made. 7. Frozen water or ice. Dreaming of ice or frozen lakes can mean emotional coldness, numbness, or a period of emotional stagnation. It may be time to thaw out, emotionally reconnect, open up, or move forward. But ice can also be protective. Perhaps your mind is keeping something on hold until you're ready to deal with it. 8. Drinking water. This can be a very spiritual dream, especially if the water is clear. It might mean you're seeking emotional or spiritual nourishment. Dirty water suggests you're taking in toxic energy or being emotionally influenced by something unhealthy. 9. Being underwater. Feeling submerged or trapped underwater is a clear metaphor. You're emotionally overwhelmed or suffocating in a real-life situation. Can't breathe in the dream? That's a signal of emotional exhaustion or a desperate need to come up for air in waking life. 10. Water creatures. Fish, whales, or even unknown sea creatures symbolize parts of the subconscious that are surfacing. A friendly dolphin might represent guidance from your higher self. A mysterious sea monster? A buried trauma or fear emerging from the depths. Water dreams are never accidental. Every splash, wave, or drop carries a message. And the more you pay attention to the details, the more clearly that message becomes. Spiritual and cultural symbolism. Water has always held deep spiritual significance across cultures and belief systems. In dreams, it becomes a powerful symbol not only of emotional depth, but also of transformation, intuition, and connection to the unseen world. Spiritual interpretation. In spiritual dream analysis, Water is often seen as the element of the subconscious and the soul. Dreaming of calm, clear water can represent clarity, inner peace, or a strong spiritual connection. You may be in harmony with your intuition, receiving messages from your higher self or even spirit guides. On the other hand, turbulent water, storms, waves, or floods might reflect spiritual unrest or the need to undergo a transformation. This could be a call from your inner being to release emotional blockages and allow spiritual growth. In many esoteric traditions, such dreams are seen as signs of awakening or preparation for a new spiritual path. If you're swimming effortlessly in deep water, it may indicate that you're ready to explore hidden truths or dive into shadow work. Drowning, however, could suggest that you're overwhelmed by spiritual or emotional issues that require grounding and healing. Dreams of water can also point to purification and rebirth. Being submerged or washed clean by water might symbolize a release of negative energy or the beginning of a new phase in your life journey. Cultural symbolism. Different cultures interpret water dreams in fascinating ways. Hinduism. Water is sacred, representing the flow of life and divine consciousness. Dreaming of rivers or the Ganges may suggest purification, karma cleansing, or emotional healing. Ancient Egypt. Water symbolized chaos and potential. The Nile was both feared and revered. A dream of water in this context could signal a powerful, creative force about to be unleashed. Japanese tradition. Water in dreams reflects social harmony and personal balance. A dream of rain may suggest a release of emotional tension or blessings to come. Christian symbolism. Water often signifies baptism, spiritual renewal, and divine grace. Dreaming of holy water or immersion can represent forgiveness, rebirth, or a deepening of faith. African traditions. Water spirits like Mami Wata are believed to appear in dreams to convey beauty, seduction, or healing. Such a dream may suggest a powerful spiritual presence or a need to embrace your sensual and intuitive self. Native American beliefs. Water is sacred and life-giving. Dreaming of lakes or streams may indicate a connection to ancestors or the earth's wisdom. Across all these traditions, water dreams often act as spiritual messages. Whether it's a warning, a blessing, or a calling, they invite us to look beneath the surface of our daily lives. Common variations and what they mean. Not all water dreams are created equal. The details, how the water appears, what you're doing in it, and how you feel, can completely change the dream's meaning. Here are some of the most common variations and what they might reveal about your emotional and intuitive state. 1. Calm, clear water. Symbolizes peace, emotional clarity, and a balanced inner life. If you're observing or swimming in calm water, it may reflect your emotional stability and openness to inner wisdom. You're likely in touch with your intuition and feeling safe within yourself. 2. Stormy seas or floods. Turbulent water suggests emotional overwhelm or chaos. You may be going through a crisis or facing suppressed feelings that need to be addressed. Flooding often indicates that your emotions are spilling over. Maybe you've been bottling things up for too long. 3. Crossing a river or ocean. This symbolizes transition. You might be going from one phase of life to another, leaving something behind to embrace the unknown. The condition of the water and the way you travel, by boat, swimming, floating, reflects how you're handling this change. 4. Falling into deep water. Often linked to feelings of losing control or being forced to face emotions you've avoided. If you fall and sink, you may be struggling with something that feels too big to handle. But if you float or swim, it can suggest you're adapting to deep emotional growth. 5. Waterfalls or rushing water. Waterfalls represent sudden emotional release or breakthroughs. You may be on the verge of a spiritual epiphany or letting go of long-held feelings. Rushing water can also reflect pressure or urgency in your waking life. 6. being washed or bathed in water. Symbolizes purification, healing, and rebirth. These dreams often come when you're releasing toxic emotions, shame, or guilt. You're ready to start fresh emotionally or spiritually. 7. Frozen water or ice. This points to emotional repression or numbness. You may be frozen in a part of your life, unable or unwilling to feel certain emotions. Ice cracking or melting may indicate that you're beginning to thaw and allow vulnerability or warmth back in. 8. Underwater scenes, swimming, breathing underwater. Indicates comfort with your subconscious mind. If you're breathing underwater, it shows emotional maturity and deep intuitive strength. If you feel fear, it could reflect discomfort with your emotions or unresolved trauma. 9. Rain. Rain often represents emotional release and renewal. A soft drizzle might symbolize subtle shifts, while heavy rain may suggest a full emotional cleansing. Dreams of dancing or walking in the rain can reflect freedom or acceptance of your emotions. 10. Leaking or dripping water. Symbolizes emotional drain or subtle feelings that you're ignoring. A slow leak could represent stress or sadness that you haven't acknowledged. It's a sign to pay attention to the small emotional cues in your daily life. Each variation in a water dream is like a reflection of your inner tides, shifting, surging, or calming down based on what your soul needs. When you pay attention to these dream details, you gain powerful insights into your emotions, your intuition, and your ability to adapt, heal, and transform. Emotional messages behind water dreams. Water dreams speak the language of the soul. They are not just symbolic. They are emotional broadcasts from your inner world, reflecting what you're truly feeling beneath the surface. Let's dive into the emotional messages that water dreams may be trying to deliver. 1. You're feeling overwhelmed. When you dream of floods, giant waves, or being swept away, it's often a mirror of emotional overload in waking life. These dreams may come during periods of stress, grief, heartbreak, or transition. They reveal that your inner emotional system is struggling to process everything at once. Like your mind is trying to say, "This is too much." 2. You're searching for emotional direction. Calm lakes or flowing rivers often point to a quiet yearning for clarity or peace. Are you unsure how you feel about a person or decision? The water in your dream could be asking you to slow down and trust your emotional compass instead of overthinking everything. 3. You're ready to release something. Water is deeply tied to the idea of letting go. Rain, bathing, or drifting downstream may indicate you're emotionally ready to release guilt, resentment, or a painful memory. Even tears in a dream are symbolic of healing. It means your spirit is letting the weight fall away. 4. You're avoiding deep emotions. Murky, dark, or frozen water often symbolizes feelings that are being buried or ignored. Your subconscious may be nudging you to face truths you've been avoiding. Is there something in your past or present that you're not allowing yourself to feel? 5. You're opening up emotionally. Swimming with ease or floating in peaceful water shows that you're becoming more emotionally available to others or to yourself. These dreams may come when you're entering a new relationship, healing an old one, or finally learning to trust your own emotional instincts. 6. You're spiritually awakening. Water isn't just about feelings. It's also about intuition and connection to higher consciousness. Dreams of being submerged in glowing water, breathing underwater, or exploring an underwater world may signal a spiritual opening. You might be becoming more sensitive to energies, symbols, or emotional truths that once seemed hidden. 7. You're caught in an emotional cycle. Dreams of tides, whirlpools, or endlessly pouring water can mean you're stuck in repetitive emotional loops. Whether it's recurring guilt, old heartbreak, or self-doubt, your dream might be saying, it's time to break this cycle and reclaim your emotional freedom. 8. You crave renewal. Crystalline water, waterfalls, or being baptized in a dream often signify the need to start fresh. You may be unconsciously preparing for a new emotional chapter, leaving behind an identity, belief, or relationship that no longer serves you. Water dreams are rarely just random. They're your mind and soul processing life in a symbolic, powerful way. They whisper or shout what your waking self may not fully understand yet, whether comforting or chaotic. These dreams are invitations to feel more deeply, trust more fully, and heal more honestly. Water has always been more than just an element. It's a spiritual force. Across cultures and spiritual traditions, dreams involving water are seen as sacred messages, connecting us to intuition, higher realms, and the cycles of life, death, and rebirth. Let's explore how different cultures and belief systems interpret water in dreams, and what that could mean for you. 1. Universal symbol of life and purity. Nearly every culture views water as a life-giving force. In dreams, it represents the source of all emotions and consciousness. From the amniotic fluid that nurtures us in the womb to the rivers that sustain civilizations, water is sacred. Dreams where you are immersing clear, flowing water often symbolize spiritual cleansing, emotional purification, or divine renewal. 2. Eastern philosophy. Water is flow and surrender. In Taoism and Buddhism, water symbolizes effortless flow, the ideal state of being in harmony with life's natural rhythm. A dream where you're moving with the current, not against it, may reflect spiritual alignment or an invitation to let go of control. In Hindu belief, the sacred Ganges River purifies karma. Dreaming of bathing in holy water or seeing a sacred river may signify the washing away of old burdens, spiritually preparing you for a new chapter. 3. Kundalini and divine feminine energy. In spiritual traditions that explore Kundalini energy, water often represents the awakening of divine feminine energy, known as Shakti. If you dream of water rising in waves through your spine or flowing around your body, this may be your subconscious connecting to higher spiritual energy, often associated with transformation, healing, or awakening. 4. Celtic and pagan traditions. Water as a portal. In Celtic spirituality, lakes, wells, and rivers were believed to be entrances to other realms, places where the spirit world touched the earth. Dreaming of falling into deep water or discovering a hidden pool may indicate that your intuition is opening and that spiritual insight or guidance is waiting just below the surface. 5. Biblical and Christian symbolism. In Christianity, water represents both destruction and rebirth. Think of the Great Flood or baptism. Dreaming of drowning may symbolize a loss of faith or a feeling of spiritual distance. Conversely, dreaming of being baptized or washed clean may reflect forgiveness, redemption, or return to spiritual purpose. 6. Indigenous and shamanic views. Water as spirit medicine. In many indigenous cultures, water is considered a living being with memory and wisdom. Dreaming of water may be a form of communication with ancestral spirits or nature itself. In shamanic traditions, water is used in rituals for healing, dream work, and journeying. A dream where water speaks to you or guides you could be a call to embrace your role as a healer or to seek emotional harmony with the natural world. 7. Dream water as a spiritual mirror. On a personal spiritual level, water in dreams often reflects your current energetic vibration. Clear water suggests emotional clarity and spiritual peace. Muddy or violent water may reflect energetic clutter or a need to realign your inner world. Dreams where you fear or resist water could signal spiritual blockages, while dreams where you surrender to water may show readiness to evolve. 8. Water as a symbol of the subconscious. Carl Jung believed that water represented the deep unconscious mind. Dreaming of oceans, underwater caves, or tidal waves may suggest that you are entering a phase of deep inner transformation, one that will bring hidden truths to light. This can be both a spiritual awakening and a psychological one. The soul and psyche often speak the same language, and water is one of their favorite tools. Water dreams are more than emotional. They are spiritual doorways. They invite you not just to feel, but to become something new, to cleanse, to awaken, to flow. Common dream scenarios involving water and what they mean. Not all water dreams are created equal. The way water appears and how you interact with it can dramatically change its meaning. Some dreams feel serene, others terrifying. But each one offers a different layer of insight into your emotions, thoughts, and inner life. Let's break down the most common water dream scenarios and what they might reveal about you. 1. Drowning in water. This is one of the most intense water dreams. Drowning often symbolizes emotional overwhelm. You may feel like you're losing control in your waking life, drowning in responsibilities, emotions, or even guilt. If you're saved or manage to swim to the surface, it suggests that hope and resilience are present, even in hard times. 2. Drinking water. Dreaming of drinking clear. Cool water usually means healing and renewal. You're nourishing yourself physically, emotionally, or spiritually. However, drinking dirty or salty water might indicate you're taking in negativity from someone around you or absorbing toxic energy unknowingly. 3. Bathing or showering. Bathing in a dream symbolizes cleansing. It's your mind's way of saying, let's wash away this old energy. It often shows up after periods of stress, shame, or guilt, when your subconscious seeks purification. A hot shower might represent comfort and emotional release, while a cold one can suggest a shock or wake-up call. 4. Floating or swimming calmly. If you're floating peacefully on still water or swimming smoothly, it suggests you're in emotional balance. You're handling life's changes with grace and trusting the flow of things. It also points to confidence in your intuition. You're not resisting what life is offering. You're going with it. 5. Tidal waves or tsunamis. These dreams are powerful metaphors for emotional repression. Tidal waves often represent big feelings you've been pushing down. Fear, grief, anger that are now crashing to the surface. If the wave hits you, it can mean you're about to face an emotional release or breakdown. If you escape or climb to safety, it may show resilience or a breakthrough coming soon. 6. Rainstorms or floods. Rain is often cleansing and represents sadness, renewal, or spiritual blessing. A gentle rain may suggest healing or quiet introspection. Floods, on the other hand, often show you're feeling emotionally overwhelmed or invaded by outside pressures. It may also reflect a life transition that's wiping the slate clean, whether you're ready or not. 7. Ice or frozen water. Frozen water can mean emotional numbness or suppression. If you're walking on ice, it might suggest you're walking on thin ice in a real-life situation, anxious and unsure. Breaking through ice might symbolize a breakthrough in your emotional awareness, especially if you were once stuck or detached. 8. Being on a boat. Being on a boat, ship, or canoe suggests you're navigating emotions with some control. Smooth sailing means emotional ease, while a sinking or stormy boat reflects turbulence. The condition of the boat, old, broken, fast, slow, can indicate how well-equipped you feel to handle what life's throwing at you. 9. Sea creatures in water. Seeing animals in water, like dolphins, whales, or even fish, can carry deep symbolic meaning. Dolphins may suggest joy and emotional intelligence. Whales could point to ancient wisdom or deep emotional truths surfacing. Sharks, however, may represent lurking dangers or emotional threats. Watch how they behave in your dream, aggressive or calm. That tells you a lot. 10. Deserted islands or shores. Being on a shore, watching water, may mean you're observing emotions without engaging. It's a place of reflection. But if you're stranded, it could suggest isolation or emotional disconnection. Dreaming of islands can also mean you've separated from something or someone emotionally, either by choice or out of self-protection. Water dreams are rich and symbolic, but also deeply personal. Always consider the emotional tone of the dream. Were you afraid, calm, curious, overwhelmed? That feeling is the key to understanding your subconscious message. Psychological insights. What water dreams say about you? Water dreams are more than just imagery. They're windows into your emotional world. From a psychological point of view, dreaming of water is one of the clearest ways your subconscious tries to express what you feel but can't quite say out loud. Here's what these dreams often reveal about your inner state. Water as an emotional mirror. In dream psychology, water is almost always linked to emotion. But it's not just the presence of water. It's how it behaves and how you interact with it. Calm water equals peace, emotional clarity, or acceptance. Turbulent water equals stress, inner conflict, or emotional chaos. Deep water equals suppressed feelings, unresolved trauma, or introspection. Murky water equals confusion, denial, or emotional dishonesty. Your brain uses water to paint a picture of your current emotional climate, even if you're not aware of it during the day. Freud and Jung on water. Sigmund Freud believed water dreams represent the return to the womb, a symbol of birth, origin, and deep unconscious desire. He often linked it to sexuality and the life force. Carl Jung, however, saw water as a collective unconscious, the deeper layers of the psyche that connect all humans. For him, diving into water symbolized personal transformation, healing, and discovering hidden truths about the self. Jung also emphasized the shadow self, the parts of us we repress or ignore. Murky or dangerous water in dreams could represent this shadow, asking to be integrated, not feared. Water and emotional avoidance. If you dream of drowning, floods, or giant waves, it could mean your mind is overwhelmed and trying to avoid something. Often, we suppress painful feelings like grief, anger, or fear to keep functioning. But dreams don't lie. These intense water dreams could be a way for your psyche to release the pressure and nudge you toward dealing with those hidden emotions. Have you been ignoring how you really feel about something? A dream where you can't escape the water may be your brain's way of forcing you to confront it. Recurring water dreams, a pattern worth noticing. If you have recurring water dreams, especially of drowning, floods, or storms, it often signals an emotional pattern that hasn't been resolved. Ask yourself, am I emotionally overwhelmed? Do I suppress my feelings? Is there a decision I've been avoiding? Have I felt out of control in life recently? These questions can help connect the dream world with your waking reality. Positive psychological meaning, growth, and renewal. Not all water dreams are stressful. Dreams of swimming in clear water, floating peacefully, or bathing often symbolize emotional growth, renewal, and cleansing. You might be letting go of the past, moving through grief, becoming more in tune with your emotional self, healing old wounds. Your subconscious could be rewarding you with imagery of peace and flow because you're finally making inner progress. Water dreams as emotional checkpoints. Think of your water dreams as emotional health check-ins. Just like your body tells you when you're hungry or tired, your dreams tell you when your emotions need attention. They may be subtle, a quiet lake, loud, a crashing wave, or confusing, swimming through fog. But they always carry a message. Water dreams don't predict, they reflect. They show you where you are emotionally and sometimes where you're headed. Spiritual and cultural interpretations. What water means across traditions. Water is one of the most spiritually charged elements in human history. Across cultures, religions, and mystical traditions, it represents not only life and purification, but also transformation, mystery, and divine connection. When you dream of water, you're tapping into something ancient, powerful, and universal. Water and spiritual symbolism. In spiritual terms, water is rarely just about emotion. It's about the flow of life, how energy moves, how souls evolve, how truths are revealed. Still water is often seen as a state of inner peace or divine alignment. Flowing water symbolizes life force, the passage of time, and change. Rain can signify divine blessings, renewal, or emotional release. Waves and tides suggest cosmic cycles, or the pull of fate and destiny. Floods may represent spiritual cleansing or chaos before rebirth. To dream of water is to be invited into a deeper relationship with the spiritual side of yourself. Eastern traditions, flow and enlightenment. In Hinduism and Buddhism, water represents the sacred flow of energy, prana or chi. It's tied to the sacral chakra, the center of emotion, creativity, and intuition. Dreaming of clean, flowing water may indicate that your chakras are in balance or that you're opening spiritually. Murky or blocked water might suggest energetic stagnation or spiritual avoidance. In Taoism, water is the perfect example of Wu Wei, effortless action. It teaches that the best way to overcome obstacles is by flowing around them, not forcing through. Dreaming of moving with the current might show you're learning to trust life. Western religions, cleansing and revelation. In Christianity, water is a symbol of baptism and rebirth. Dreaming of being immersed in water may reflect spiritual renewal or the washing away of past sins. In the Old Testament, water often appears during divine interventions, floods, partings of seas, and sacred wells. These moments represent both danger and salvation. Dreams of stormy or overwhelming water could reflect a spiritual trial or the presence of divine judgment in your subconscious. In Islam, water is a gift from Allah and is used for purification, wudu. Dreaming of pure water may reflect spiritual cleanliness, forgiveness, or a readiness to approach something sacred. Mysticism, intuition, and the feminine. Water has always been linked to the divine feminine, intuition, and lunar energy. It is ruled by the moon, associated with dreams, cycles, and hidden wisdom. In dreams, water can symbolize your connection to your inner goddess or feminine energy, regardless of gender, an awakening of psychic or intuitive abilities, a descent into the unconscious for soul retrieval or healing. Spiritual mystics often say that dreaming of oceans or deep lakes is a call to explore the unknown within yourself, to embrace mystery rather than resist it. Indigenous and cultural views. Native American traditions see water as a life-giving force tied to the Earth Mother. Dreaming of rivers may mean you're being guided or tested by ancestral spirits. In African spirituality, water spirits like Mami Wata appear in dreams to offer both protection and challenge. They demand respect, awareness, and spiritual maturity. In Celtic mythology, wells and springs were portals to the other world. Dreaming of them could mean you're on the threshold of insight or spiritual transformation. What your soul might be telling you. Dreams of water can feel hauntingly symbolic because they often are. They're not always about emotions or psychology. Sometimes they're about your spiritual path, your soul's evolution, or a message from something greater than yourself. Ask yourself, did the water feel sacred or threatening? Were you resisting or accepting it? Were you drowning or being reborn? These aren't just dreams. They're symbols. And when you honor them as sacred, they begin to speak more clearly. Water connects everything, mind, body, spirit. And your dreams, they may be trying to do the same. Have you ever dreamed of water? Calm or chaotic, clear or dark? What did it feel like? Tell us in the comments. Your dream could hold a meaning deeper than you think. If this helped unlock something within you, don't forget to subscribe, and share this with someone who's been dreaming too. There's more hidden meaning in your dreams than you realize. Subscribe to What Dreams Mean and start understanding the messages your soul is trying to send.